to our third topic at hand. This is regarding Epic. Talking about Fortnite in the pregame show. So let me bring up the article real quick. This is from Game Informer. Epic launches digital game store with 88% revenue going to developers. Written by Imran Khan. Epic Games, developer of titles like Fortnite, the first Gears of War trilogy, and Unreal Tournament, has announced the creation of a new digital PC store that hopes to compete with Steam by offering unprecedented revenue split for developers. The Epic Games Store is launching a full-fledged game marketplace supporting all sorts of titles. The Fortnite developer hopes to incentivize developers to come over to the Epic Games Store by pushing the revenue split for software further than any platform holder has before, giving developers 88% of their revenue while keeping 12% for overhead. This is a big change considering the traditional industry standard for digital revenues split usually is give 30% to the store owner, while it's whether it be Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, Apple, Android, or Valve. Perhaps anticipating this move, Valve recently made adjustments to Steam's revenue model, but only above certain thresholds that most games won't hit. Quote, as a developers ourselves, we always wanted a platform with great economics that connects us directly with other players, unquote, Epic Games founder and CEO Tim Sweeney said in a press statement. Thanks to the success of Fortnite, we now have this and are ready to share it with other developers. I'll post the whole link in the chat, but Epic is launching their own platform to go against Valve and Steam, and it's always going to be a tall order when you do something like this. But the thing that obviously they're doing for creators or for people who are wanting to get more money is they're making it much easier for developers to get that bigger revenue share than Steam is and Valve is given. Which have another story regarding what's happened to the indie devs right now because of it. And the thing, so it's and obviously more competition is great. That's why it brings out the best in everybody who does it. At the same time, I'm kind of curious to see as far as like how Epic is huge. Don't get me wrong. I think Epic is a big company. They like people use their tech. They their games. Depending on who you ask, good or bad or whatever games come out is popular. Right now they can do it because of Fortnite. Because Fortnite's giving them so much money that they can do something like this. Can they really take on Valve and Steam and really toe to toe against them?
Absolutely. See, here's the part that I think a lot of people aren't quite thinking about. Watching this fucking footage of Fortnite, like OG Fortnite before it became what it is, and it's just.
I know, it's funny.
I'm like, whoa. But Epic understands the importance of having a place to launch your game on something that doesn't want to completely fuck you over. They haven't necessarily been the underdog, but they've always needed a publisher. Now that they kind of can be a publisher and they want to take it to that level, this is so good for everybody. This is like, yes, fucking Steam or Valve's gonna fucking hate this, but at the end of the day, this is great for competition. Like, I kind of read a little bit, like, people have been pointing out certain things that have been in the bylaws for, Epic's online platform. And there's a lot of little things that Steam or other companies, what was it? Can't remember the other gaming one. But anyway, this is going to help people. This is going to launch their game. This is going to put them a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, I'm 100% behind this. 100% behind this. And then also, like, the 88%. Are you fucking kidding me? That's awesome.
That's huge. And that's great. It's awesome. And one of the things that we've seen over the years as far as when it comes to Steam just seems to miss the mark when it comes to supporting the people who got on their platform. Like they'll open the door for big platform holders, the big companies, sure. But when it comes to the indie devs, when it comes to everybody else, it seems like they don't have that much support for them. especially with the new changes that they implemented to try to respond to what Epic is trying to do, but at the same time, like definitely giving the shaft to the smaller devs. And
Yeah.
Steam recently has been getting hit by all sides. They're getting hit by, at this point, every other company who wants to launch their own platform, not just Epic Games, but we're talking about Origin, we're talking about Uplay, we're talking about EA Games. Like they figured out now they can launch their own platform. They don't need Steam. So Valve, I feel like, is at a point where it's getting harder and harder to maintain their status quo and to maintain why people come to Steam versus other companies who are launching their own platforms or selling their own games at a much better revenue share than what Steam is giving. So
Yeah.
if you're Steam, if you're Valve, like what doing the changes you recently just did as a response to Epic, like what can you do?
Let me tell you what this does. So, in the society that we live in, and I'm talking about world society, it's very, very consumer and not corporate, but capitalist based. Pardon me, burp stream, burpcast as we call it sometimes.
Yep.
Um, if you are kind of stuck, like your game is stuck on Steam, right? You hear a different company coming out and saying this should excite you, because then that means that other companies have to change their ways. They have to conform, or they're going to lose a lot of the people that use their platform. Steam, as we've talked about in the past, makes a stupid amount of money off of their product. Like, people using Steam and buying games off of it make a stupid amount of money. Well, this is just new and better competition, and now Valve has to figure out how to fix that. So.
Absolutely, and it's something that we'll have to wait and see in the future. I think right now, I believe there's a lot of temptation, or there's a lot of like just kind of feeling it out, like what Epic is offering, what they can provide versus what Valve does at the moment. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out in the future. Would it be a situation where Valve is going to be hit hard and everybody just goes on Epic's platform, or the game company is going to follow suit, or is it just going to become the same and every other platform will have its audience, but Steam will still reign as king? So time will definitely tell in regards to that.
Well, I think I think there's two factors you got to throw into that. How will Steam remain king? Probably not. It'll take some time for it to become more viable, I want to say, but honestly, this is 9 times out of 10 when it comes to things like this, it's going to be on the consumer. But if a new dev comes out and is like, nah, man, we're on the Epic, we're on the Epic side, like this, you got to buy our game, you got to buy it from them. That's gonna fucking speak volumes.
Absolutely. Is those gonna come? Sorry. Go ahead.
I would say so. So it's not just consumer in this case. It's gonna be a lot of indie devs coming out and just saying like, nah, the other platforms suck, and we're gonna prove it by having our platform only here. So
absolutely, and one of the
our game on those platforms.
Right, and
I said that wrong.
Right. And one of the major problems also with Valve right now and Steam with what they have is, there's a lot of crap on the platform. Like, you have to search deep to find some good games, or specifically for some good games. If you're not us, if you're not somebody within the know of like what's good and what's not, you kind of have to play roulette in a way and just see what appeals to you, or what is the actually good game versus the amount of games that are submitted to Steam, and a good sum of them are not good. So it's definitely one of those things that Steam knows it and Valve knows it. That's something that they've had an issue for years. The question with this is like, well, can they do something to where whatever game you're into, whatever it is, like, define the cream of the crop, or even games that you haven't played that are good that you haven't played yet, are those going to be something that Epic can fix versus Valve?
I do trust that Valve has that in plan. I do feel that, to answer that question in a sense, yes.
Okay.
So that's just me though. I mean, I if other people don't trust them as much as I do, that's fine. But I really do feel that they're going to have ways to have newer games or more popular games kind of be front and center on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like they're going to give new devs definitely a better chance, if you will. So.
All right. Move.